Today we're going to be showing you our expert stain and seal stain machine. We just got it delivered yesterday on a pallet here. We're going to be setting it up. We do actually have a job we're going to be taking it to up in Donley, Idaho. We're going to be staining fence pickets with it and 2x4s. So all the lumber that we're going to be using for the fence to install a privacy fence, we're going to pre-stain it. It pre-stains wood, it pre-paints wood, so you can pre-stain all your lumber for fences, 2x4s and fence pickets. You can also use it to paint interior trim. So what it is, it's a manually operated machine. Doesn't there's no electrical components on it. You just feed your boards through it and it rolls and back brushes your boards all in one shot. So one shot, they're done. Then you stack them to dry, or you just start installing them. The simple and easy way to stain your fence before you install it. The legs, there's going to be a hole right here, and each one of the legs that a thumb screw is going to go into, and that's what's going to just secure and tighten the leg. This is going to be filled with stain right here, so the bottom roller is going to catch stain, you know, in that reservoir right there. These inserts go on the bottom down here, so when you store your machine, if you're storing it like on an epoxy floor or something, you're not going to scratch the floor. So you're going to just put those down, press down, and it's going to push them up inside, install those. So install all four. So in order to have your legs correct, your wing nuts will be facing inside. I'm going to tighten these two wing nuts right here. Now we can lift this side up. Luke can put the other two legs in. Wing nut is facing inward, and you'll see there's a bend to the leg that goes outward. This bar actually rotates down right here, and this is what your lumber actually rests on. One of the rollers did come off inside here. We'll reattach this roller. Here's one of the rollers that rolls the edge. Can lift this off, Luke. So I'll set this aside, just set that on. You can take both of these off, and we have access right here to our machine that does all the back brushing and rolling. Back brushes that brush top and bottom and sides, and it goes through two sets of back brushing, and it goes through one set of rollers. These are the rollers, two side rollers that do your edges. This is a picket right here, half of a picket. One person's going to be feeding the picket through. The other person's going to grab it and continue pulling it through. No motorized components. I'm leaving everything apart so you can actually see inside. Our very first picket, you're going to do your setup. I'm going to set this picket up, the width, get my rollers, the width, and get them so they're actually pressed on there, squishing on there. You're going to want to adjust your top roller downward to make sure that that presses down on. Just press it down because we want it to roll and squish our stain, press the stain right into the picket. And then you're going to want to adjust your brushes to back brush. Once everything is adjusted properly, this is where our stain's going to feed right through here. We'll set our stand on just like that. Reservoir goes on top. Strainer right here to strain the stain as you dump it in. You're going to want to be careful, slowly pour it in. That's your reservoir right here. Now we're going to attach our catch basin. It's going to be right here. It has a ball valve right here that you're going to open up so everything can pour into your 5-gallon bucket. Last adjustment. This adjustment we want our board to be going in level, so this is a little bit high right here. So we'll make this adjustment. Test run. Luke pulls it through. Board's gonna be stained. Our valves right here are a little bit loose. I'm gonna get a crescent wrench and I'll tighten these valves right here. Just make sure they're loose, otherwise you're gonna get some leaking down there. Strainer's gonna go back on, lid's gonna go back on. Dry run's all done. We're ready to get this thing on the move, staining the fence. If your wood is not kiln dried, you gotta down stack your wood so it'll dry out, probably 3 or 4 days. You gotta make sure your lumber's dry. That way the lumber will suck up the stain and it'll penetrate deeply. So there we go. To get the tops of the pickets, all I gotta do is touch the top of the picket on the roller, hit it, squish it on the roller, top's done. Now,
looks good.
We'll feed it through. So it pre-strains it. It's gonna feed down here. Eventually I'm gonna empty it into my bucket. I've got a strainer in my bucket. You definitely wanna have a strainer in your bucket because there's gonna be a lot of fibers coming off the wood that's gonna go into our stain, and we don't want that to clog our machine up. All these are replaceable as a kit, and so which is really nice. So you don't actually have to clean the brushes and rollers if you don't want. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. I didn't know how well it would work, but this is far exceeds my expectations right here. So just like that, we're already done with all those pickets. We'll restack more pickets, let this strain. Now we can just reuse this to dump back in top. And what's incredible is we've hardly used very much stain. One of the key things to understand about this, the product itself, Expert Stain and Seal, they're self-leveling products. They don't have to be, if you're spraying them, they don't have to be back brushed. It is always best to back brush. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Picket gets way more saturated than if you were spraying with an airless sprayer. Your spigots right here, I want to see that the tray has got stain going all the way across. You can see how saturated those pickets are. They're absolutely flooded, saturated. This fence is going to last a long time before it's going to have to be restained. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind. So we got, wing nuts. We're gonna wanna move these in so it properly back brushes. So you can see the inside of the unit now, what it looks like after using it for, we've done 60 feet of pickets. See if I got my everything adjusted properly now. Is it hitting it?
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Both rollers. It's interesting, the rollers work great on the 2x4s because there's more contact surface than the fence picket. So it's now 2 hours. We've got 60 feet of privacy fence rolled and back brushed. I would say that's pretty fast.